It's Liberty Lampoon, episode number 16 with Aaron and Michael. You're listening to Liberty Lampoon with Aaron and Michael. That's right, where we lambaste politicians, public figures, policies, and print, all from a libertarian perspective. This week, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm not going to intro any of it. But needless to say, there is going to be an appearance from a gentleman who showed up on one of our shows, Michael. I think you remember him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. He contacted us and after the election and wanted to ask if he could come back on the show, and we graciously said yes. And
we
so
said yes,
but
we said yes because he is we're talking about flag burning in that segment. So just prepare. His name is Steve. You may remember him from episode 12. So,
yep.
But we'll get into that.
He's a subject matter expert, I think.
I would say he's definitely an expert of something. That's for sure. I mean, I'm not going to talk about what they do in Arkansas on the weekends, but let's just say that it involves heavy amounts of whiskey and incest. Anyways, so let's go.
Cousins. You know why people make the joke that if you're from Arkansas, you marry your cousin? You know why?
No, why?
Because Jerry Lee Lewis, he was from Arkansas, and he married.
I knew that he married his cousin. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and that's why the joke is if you're from Arkansas, you marry your cousin.
Liberty Lampoon, everybody. Yeah.
Fun fact of the day.
Fun fact. The only real news on this show. So, wait, great time to transition. Okay, so.
Now to some fake news.
Now, no, there's this, I don't know if, I'm sure everybody remembers, we talked about fake news just a little bit, I think, in the last couple of shows, because people were throwing little baby fits about fake news supposedly winning. Oh, no, that was the 5-minute segment that we did at the end of the Shane Radliff episode. So we didn't really talk about it that much, but... so basically, like there was the Washington Post published this article, and I'm going to read. This is a rebuttal, and it's from the Intercept. But it was basically the Washington Post had. It says Washington Post disgracefully promotes a McCarthyite blacklist from a new, hidden, and very shady group. So actually, the article that we're about to get into is a good article. Like, we're not lampooning the article that we're about to get into. It's lampooning another article. So it's kind of like a triangle of fuckery, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, the Washington Post on Thursday night promoted the claims of a new shadowy organization that smears dozens of U.S. news sites that are critical of U.S. foreign policy as being, quote, routine peddlers of Russian propaganda, end quote. The article by reporter Craig Timberg headlined, quote, Russian propaganda effort helped spread fake news during elections, experts say, end quote. Cites a report by an anonymous website calling itself Prop or Not, which claims that millions of Americans have been deceived this year in a massive Russian misinformation campaign. The group's list of Russian disinformation outlets includes WikiLeaks and the Drudge Report, as well as Clinton-critical left-wing websites such as Truth Out, Black Agenda Report, Truth Dig, and Naked Capitalism, as well as libertarian venues such as antiwar.com and the Ron Paul Institute. This Post report was one of the most widely circulated political news articles on social media over the last 48 hours, with dozens, perhaps hundreds of U.S. journalists and pundits with large platforms hailing it as an earth-shattering expose. It was the most read piece on the entire Post website on Friday after it was published. Yet the article is rife with obviously reckless and unproven allegations, and fundamentally shaped by shoddy, slothful journalistic tactics. It was not surprising to learn that, as BuzzFeed's Shira Frankel noted, quote, a lot of reporters passed on this story, end quote. Its huge flaws are self-evident, but the Post gleefully ran with it and then promoted it aggressively, led by its executive editor, Marty Barron. And there's some like tweets and stuff. I guess that's aggressively promoting things is tweeting. Actually, now that I think about it, go check out our Twitter the day of a release. That's aggressive.
Shamelessly plugging.
Yeah.
Liberty Lampoon.
Just like gay porn. Shameless plugging.
Yeah. Oh.
In casting the group behind this website as, quote, experts, end quote. Do I need to say that every time? End quote?
No. But does it make any mention of where these experts are from?
Yeah, right. Here we go. Here we go. The post described Proper Not simply as, quote, a nonpartisan collection of researchers with foreign policy, military, and technology backgrounds, end quote. Not one individual at the organization is named. The executive director is quoted, but only on the condition of anonymity, which the post said it was providing the group, quote, to avoid being targeted by Russia's legions of skilled hackers, end quote. Let me just say something real quick. Just because your name isn't on the website doesn't mean that the website isn't going to be hacked. If they're that skilled, it doesn't mean that a skilled hacker could figure out who the website belongs to, or at least find out, IP addresses and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
In other words, the individuals behind this newly created group are publicly branding journalists and news outlets as tools of Russian propaganda, even calling on the FBI to investigate them for espionage, while cowardly hiding their own identities. The group promoted by the Post thus embodies the toxic essence of Joseph McCarthy, but without the courage to attach individual names to the blacklist. Echoing the Wisconsin senator, the group refers to its lengthy collection of sites spouting Russian propaganda as the List. The credentials of this supposed group of experts are impossible to verify, as none is provided either by the Post or by the group itself. The Intercept contacted Proper Not and asked numerous questions about its team, but received only this reply, quote, we're getting a lot of requests for comment and can get back to you today. Smiley face, end quote. The group added, quote, we're over 30 people organized into teams, and we cannot confirm or deny anyone's involvement. Thus far, they have provided no additional information beyond that. Okay, I'm going to move ahead here to some of the tweets and stuff. So some of the people who they supposedly named as allies tweeted. This is Elliot Higgins. He was named. Just want to note, I hadn't heard of Proper Not before the Washington Post piece and never gave them permission to call Bellingcat allies. No one I've spoken to listed as allies on their site had ever heard of them before the Washington Post piece. That was Elliot Higgins again. James Miller, I can confirm. I have no idea what this website is nor who runs it. Not sure how that makes us, quote, allies. Looks like it's just a blog roll. Anyways, so
if that doesn't confirm that fake news is used to propagate fake news or the anti-fake news,
right? So to close this out, just to give you an idea of what kind of people Prop or Not is, this is from the piece. To see how frivolous and even childish this group of anonymous cowards is, which the Post venerated into serious experts in order to peddle their story. Just sample a couple of recent tweets from this group. This was in response to people. This is November 26. Aw, look at all the angry Putinists trying to change the subject. They're so very angry. It's cute. We don't censor, just highlight. And where I said angry and stuff like that, it literally is spelled with W's. So... Just saying. Here's another one. Fascists. Straight up motherfucking fascists. That's what we're up against. Unwittingly or not, they work for Russia. Wow. We'll consider revealing our names when Russia reveals the names of those running its propaganda operations in the West. Seriously, this is bullshit, dude. If you think that this site is legit, you have like some sort of mental disability. It's just... Chances are it could just be a group of people who hate certain websites. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really feel bad for the Russians in all this, man.
Yeah, they're getting smeared.
Shit on by the Clinton campaign during the election, and the DNC. Now they're getting shit on by these guys, and there is still, like, everyone has said that, oh, it's the Russians, they're hacking. No, not a single motherfucker has provided any
evidence,
shred of evidence
other than
whatsoever.
other than like one call sign at the end of a piece or something like that. You know, that's not enough. Anyways, so, you know, is there a chance though that this is just American propaganda? Because, see, we already know that the U.S. does propaganda because a PR firm was paid in the heat of Iraq to drop tapes of fake Al-Qaeda footage and training videos in houses that U.S. troops raided in Iraq. So that when U.S. troops went in, they found the tapes and then gave those tapes to international media. And then the U.S. media picks it up and runs with it to continue the war effort, sell bonds and whatnot. President Obama's administration spent $1.5 billion on PR firms in a year. Public relations is technically what the government is supposed to do, but what this is it's propaganda. And since we don't know where all that $1.5 billion went for PR, I think it's at proper knot, Michael. I think it's in their pockets. You know what I mean?
Some people got some cushy paychecks for doing shoddy work.
Yeah, I think the point is, though, that everything is propaganda. You know what I mean? I mean, watch the mainstream news. They lick boots. They push patriotism. They deny talking about major allegations, you know?
Like if we had the money, you and I, we could definitely like start like a big cable news network and hire a bunch of people and make it like libertarian or whatever, or we can make it whatever perspective we want. And just because we were so big, we'd have quote unquote credibility.
Right. That's what it is just whichever ones are bigger, you know. And that's why I say that we need to encourage more independent media. You know, if we continually science little guys and rely on the big few major news outlets, that makes controlling the narrative that much easier for dictators. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what happens. You think that Donald Trump, like, look, to put it in perspective, if you give this power away now to like say, oh, this is fake news, we're going to take it down. Do you think that Donald Trump is going to silence InfoWars? No. He's going to silence the Young Turks, Occupy Democrats, and the Daily KOS or KOS or however it's pronounced. You know, you freaking idiots, stop lobbying for more power to be thrown around. We've talked about this in the past, you know.
Yep.
So that's that. Fake news. Liberty Lampoon is fake news, even though we're not news. We've never claimed to be news, but we are fake news. We're on FPRN, and that made one of the lists. So shout out to FPRN again. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Doing God's work.
God's work. Hail Putin. Hey, help out the show. Become a patron of Liberty Lampoon. That's right. Go to patreon.com/Liberty Lampoon. There's extra bonus episodes, after shows, and a whole bunch of throwback episodes to shows that you can't listen to anywhere else that Michael and I did, plus early access to the newest episode. $2 a month gets you access to our Discord server, our secret Facebook, and all of the bonus episodes. Donate any amount and you'll get a shout out on the show. We will talk absolute bonkers crap about you. I mean, we'll lampoon you. Do it. Patreon.com/Liberty Lampoon. Do it. Oh, good news. There was good news. And it came out, I think it came out like right after we recorded. Didn't it? Would you say that? I think we recorded on Friday. It was like Friday night.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Look, I don't know why people are... have you seen like all these people suddenly worshiping the dude?
Yeah.
It's insane. Yep. And these are the same people like freaking out about, like, it's like, oh my God, Trump is literally going to round up LGBT people and Muslims and anyone who disagrees with him. Oh no, Fidel Castro died. He was a hero. You know why that's ironic?
He's such a great dictator.
You know why that's so ironic? It's because...
Why is that ironic?
Fidel Castro rounded up LGBTQ people and people that he disagreed with. Booyakasha.
What did he do with them once he rounded them up?
let me think of like I'm trying to think of good way to explain this without like getting too much into the weeds. So let's just say, have you heard of the Clinton Foundation? That's what he did to them.
You mean a bank in the back of the head?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they're dead. They're definitely dead. Anyway, so like, I don't know why people are suddenly worshiping him. You know, if Cuba was so great, I don't know why people were risking their lives jumping onto rafts to get to the U.S. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me. And then, you know, a lot of the rebuttals for that is, oh, well, if USA hadn't started the embargo with Cuba, then everything would have been just fine. Oh, so you're telling me that everything would have been just fine if Cuba could rely on a capitalist system to help them, to trade with them? Is that what you're telling me? Okay, that makes sense. I get it.
And, you know, one of the things I've noticed, like you see all the, like these cucks on the news that are saying how Fidel, like Castro, is just like misunderstood, and he was actually a good leader. He was a nationalist for the people, and blah 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 blah. None of these Joes are Cuban. They're all like white, middle-aged, old dudes who have lived in the U.S. their entire life and aren't gay. Or
it's like if you want to talk about privilege, there you go.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Look in the mirror, you know. Like, I don't believe me. It doesn't really matter to me the color of your skin, but if you went to freaking Harvard, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A white, straight, educated dude is telling me how great Fidel Castro was. And he wasn't actually a dictator.
Meanwhile, Cubans are in the street wanting to, you know, they're praising Jesus, you know, literally Jesus.
In the U.S., they're having celebrations. And then in Cuba, they're in the streets because they're forced to be in the streets.
They're lining the streets to mourn his death because their family members will have to mourn theirs if they don't, you know. They're like, well, we don't want to mourn like several deaths. Might as well just mourn this one.
Man,
little pamphlet saying, "You better mourn or you'll mourn."
Yeah, I can't remember what news channel I was watching, but they were showing people going to see like the memorial that was set up. While Fidel was interred. Yeah. And one young dude was like, "Yeah, I just wanted to come and get a picture. That way, I could prove that I was here when Fidel died." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't like the guy, but I just wanted to get a picture."
I gotta be here. I have to be here. Did you see that his the like motorcade pulling his ashes? It broke down. It really did. They had to push it. The Jeep broke down.
How fitting. How fitting is communism at work, folks.
If communism works so well, what about my dictator's funeral motorcade? You know?
They may not have the supplies to keep the cars running, but they have free health care and free education. So
yeah, Fidel was an awful human being, guys. That's why his Jeep broke down carrying his dead ashes, you know. He was bad for gay rights, bad for freedom, bad for the economy. The ghosts of the gays crept into the Jeep and just started pulling plugs and saying, "No, you're not getting buried next to us." Anyways, it doesn't matter if everyone...
Fuck you from the grave.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter if everyone has access to health care if the health care is a fucking fly-infested hospital bed with 3 other infectious people. And education doesn't mean anything if it's just widespread indoctrination. You know what I mean? Communism is a joke. People don't point out the good things Hitler did because he was a monster. You know, Fidel was a monster. I'm glad he's dead and he's rotting in hell right now, if you believe in that place. You know, you think he's rotting in hell? You think that's where he is?
I don't know.
I think that communism has its own special place, like for hell. You know what I mean? It's got like its own special hell.
Yeah.
where everyone gets raped equally as bad, because equality, that's all that matters with communism. Equally as bad. So, yeah, there you go. What, you have any thoughts about Fidel there, Michael?
No, not really. I mean, kind of, maybe a little bit of, Well, the only thing I can really think of is, fuck that guy.
Yeah, screw that guy. And, I don't feel bad saying that I'm glad that he's dead. I really do not feel, I don't feel any remorse saying I'm glad that Fidel Castro is dead. And look, if you
it really doesn't affect my life really all that much.
No, it doesn't. And it didn't, and it won't. But it's still, I'm glad he's dead though, Like I feel like any time like a dictator, like a vicious dictator falls to the hand of death, I feel like that any time that happens, like I'm trying to think what happens, like a fairy gets its wings, you know what I mean? Like another kid makes it to Never Land whenever a dictator dies. Does that make sense?
I thought you meant like a guy going to a gay pride parade.
Well, I mean, I would say yeah, but those don't happen in Cuba though.
They will now.
Well, they do. They technically do happen, but they have a different name for them. They're called firing lines. So that's what they're called. So yeah, if you guys support Fidel and you're offended by this little segment, you can go eat big old dicks because it's not American propaganda. Just go talk to a freaking Cuban whose family defected. Okay, just go talk to one of them. That's all you got to do. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to American media. Just go talk to somebody from Cuba. Okay, that's all.
Yep.
I don't care if you're offended. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. We actually went to high school with a few people that their grandparents
defected
left Cuba.
Yep.
Yeah.
Risked everything.
Yep. They literally came to the US with nothing. And then
Yep.
Yeah.
They made it. Thank God. Fuck Cuba.
Mm-hmm. Well, not Cuba, just Fidel.
Yeah, just the Castros, dictators, communists, those people.
Yeah.
So
now his brother just needs to die.
Yeah.
Do his communist dictator duty and drop dead.
I think it's okay for us to say like, hey guys, if you're listening to us in Cuba, do what you got to do.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. Do what you got to do. Okay.
Fight the power.
Fight the power. Rise up. Counter revolution.
The state ain't shit.
We're not telling you to do anything. We're not telling you to do anything.
Well, is the Cuban government going to come after us? Yeah. If you're in Cuba, rise up. Revolt against the establishment. All right. Get your guns if you have any. Get your pitchforks.
Yeah.
I don't know. And whatever you got.
Torches, scythes.
Open rebel.
Shovels.
Anarchy.
Do it.
Yep.
I mean, I would prefer it happen peacefully, just like them say, hey, look, we're not going to pay you anymore. Give us your guns. Just leave. We're advocating revolution in Cuba, guys. Liberty Lampoon, advocating revolution in Cuba. Do it.
Welcome to television's unchallenged authority on wealth, prestige, and success. It's another dazzling lifestyles of the rich and famous. Meet the stars of show business and big business. Discover how life's winners live, love, and spend their fortunes. Enter their dazzling world of luxury on privileged tours of the fantasy palaces they call home.
Yes. The White House is absolutely fantastic. This is Donald Trump, and I'm just here to take you on a little tour of the White House. A lot of new gold shit in here because frankly, I am a very rich man, and a lot of gold shit. There's, as you can see, these chains that I have for the Latino workers. They're made out of gold. The Hispanics, they love me. They love me. They love what I do. It's fantastic. This is how we're going to make America great again. I promise you, this is how we're going to do it. It's going to be fantastic. Also, I can't take you any further on this tour because, frankly, I'm a little afraid what with the mainstream media attacking me constantly, and it's not good. It's bad, wrong. It is wrong. So no further, but you can see these chains. That's how we're gonna make America great again. Chains. It's gonna be fantastic. Thank you.
So now we're going to talk about a little thing that we've talked about in the past a little bit. Maybe not this specific thing, but so Trump sent out a tweet. Could you read that tweet, Michael, please?
Yeah. So Trump tweeted early in the week, "Nobody should be allowed to burn the American flag. If they do, there must be consequences, perhaps loss of citizenship or even jail time. A year in jail."
So
that's really bad.
You took a few,
liberties.
Yeah,
there.
liberties with that. Yeah. But I mean, this is Liberty Lampoon. So anyway, I had came to this conclusion that flag burning is equal to Draw Muhammad, but for rednecks. Would you agree with that, Michael?
Yes, I would agree with that. It is.
It's really good when you talk into the mic. You sound really good when you talk into it.
I'm talking into the mic.
Hey, Greg, have you been talking to Michael about? Have you been talking to him about coaching him on proper mic placement?
Don't say anything. Yeah,
Greg, this podcast is going to shit because of you, Greg, and Michael.
Greg, don't listen to him. You're doing a great job. Yeah, thanks, Michael.
I want to get Alan back in here, but that's just me. Anyways. So this is a libertarian response to this. It's Murray Rothbard. Now, this was done a long time ago. This response was quote, "Keeping our eye on property rights, the entire flag question is resolved easily and instantly. Everyone has the right to buy or weave and therefore own a piece of cloth in the shape and design of an American flag or in any other design and to do with it what he will. Fly it, burn it, defile it, put it in the closet, wear it, etc. Flag laws are unjustifiable violations of the rights of private property. On the other hand, no one has the right to come up and burn your flag or someone else's. That should be illegal, not because a flag is being burned, but because the arsonist is burning your property without your permission. He is violating your property rights. Note the way in which the focus on property rights solves all recondite issues." Murray Rothbard. The genius of his time, the songbird of his time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's real good.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Dude, I could not agree more with Murray Rothbard.
Talk into the mic, please.
That pretty much sums up how I feel.
That sums up how you feel about this. Okay, look, your patriotism doesn't confuse me. I don't know why I was going to say it like that.
What is wrong with you, Aaron?
Look, your patriotism doesn't confuse me. I get it. But what does confuse me, claiming that it stands for freedom.
Shit, we've been hacked by the Russians. We've been hacked by the Russians. Aaron, you still there?
Kalashnikova.
Wow. Okay, all right. So my personal feelings on this, I'm just going to jump right in, okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just cut me off mid-sentence. It's fine.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So I don't really talk about this all that much, but like I've been a crew chief in the Marine Corps, okay? And when I was in Afghanistan, we did some really like
Hey, hold on. I need to put on my status headphones real quick. Okay. All right, they're on. Go ahead. Keep going.
fuck you, dude. Anyways,
Keep going.
like we did some really like shady stuff, like pulling dudes all shot the fuck up out of zones and stuff like that. And then like when dudes would be KIA in the field, we go and pick them up and transport their bodies, like the initial, like from where they died to that like being sent home in caskets draped in the American flag. All right, so now don't get me wrong, I think the American flag is very beautiful. I'm not a statist by any means, but I totally
you have no problem with the American flag, is what you're saying. You're saying
yeah.
You don't feel the same way that those people who burn it and stuff do.
Yeah, and
which
then,
neither do I, anyways. But go ahead.
But then the like the people who are anti-burn, I feel for them. All right, I understand what the point they're trying to make. But then again, that like dudes who have fought and died carrying the American flag or under the American flag, whatever, those dudes fought like for everyone's right. And if some individual decides to be an asshole, then that is perfectly within his right. And if burning an American flag is the way with which he decides to do that, whatever, I don't care, because that flag that he's burning is not the same. Like if that flag was draped over someone's coffin, then fuck yeah, I'd probably go fuck a dude up. But if it's his property, dude, shit, man.
See,
let him burn it. Let him fucking burn it.
See, I've said this before, and I don't know how this is going to affect you or if this offends you or anything, but I'm going to say it anyways. But like, to me, it's kind of like it'd be the same as like walking into a church, grabbing the pastor's Bible and setting it on fire in front of him. You know what I mean? And it or just a Bible in general. If you want to say it like that, you grab your own Bible, you bring it in and you burn it in the middle of church. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
That's where the level of offense is. I get that. I get that it offends some people. I don't feel that same way. Right. And It is my right to not feel that same way. Look, I don't even agree with the people who are currently doing it so often. You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah. Like I don't feel
usually they're burning the flag for some stupid status reason, and then their solution is they want the state to use power in their direction to enforce their viewpoint.
Right. The way that I put it is I'm apathetic to it. Okay. I don't feel any passion about it. I don't feel any passion negative against it. I don't feel either way. You get what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be the guy out there doing the flag burning challenge or whatever, but I'm also not going to be out there like freaking waving it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's the way that I kind of look at it. Because and then to people it does mean something, and I'm just not generally the type of dude who wants to offend people, even if I think that their beliefs are stupid as hell. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I can still think that Muhammad is a piece of shit, right? I can still think that the Quran is bullshit and not go burn it in front of their believers. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and like the same thing with Hampshire College. Like, they took their American flags down, and then they had a bunch of veterans like show up with American flags and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I saw an interview, and one vet was like, "I'm doing this for all the veterans, and I'm here to represent them." And I was just watching this thinking, dude, you don't fucking represent me, man.
No. Yeah.
We may have like similar.
Right. Most of this is collectivism. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
It's
and
nothing.
Like if Hampshire College wants to be just a bunch of fucking assholes and take all the American flags down off their campus, I'm not sure if Hampshire College is a private university or not.
No.
Because they're a public university, because it
I'm
costs
pretty
like
sure
$60,000 to go there a year. So, but you know what?
But it's also in the Northeast, higher cost of living, anyways. So it would make sense it would be more expensive, right?
Yeah, but even if they were a public college, dude, I wouldn't really care all that much.
Yeah, it's only bothering you because you're giving it power. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Wear a freaking American flag T-shirt around campus. You know, if it bothers you that much. Even though
Yeah,
technically
and, like,
that would
these-
fall within defacing the flag too. But
Yeah, and these dudes who are all upset about the flag burning, they're not going to say shit if they see a hot ass chick fucking wearing a American flag bikini.
yeah, but I mean, it's like not the same.
Yeah, it is. She's defying the American flag. With
I
that
mean,
American
according
flag print bikini.
according to the statutes that are no longer exist. But anyways, so we've talked about people angry about Kaepernick in some of our first episodes, right? Anger is fine. We don't give a crap if you're angry. By the way, we've made people angry right on the show. It's no big deal. Take, for instance, what we said about Castro, just a few minutes ago,
Yep.
Should Barack Obama silence us? What if we burned a Quran? Should we be stopped? Sure, it's a bad move or whatever, but does it mean more freedom if we stop people from burning things in displays of political speech? No, it doesn't. So I say stop trying to silence people. Stop trying to stop people from doing what they want with their property. Do you want to do background checks for selling flags? Because that's how you get background checks for selling flags. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, okay, and this thought just popped in my mind. It would be Hampshire College is a private college, by the way, so they can do literally whatever the fuck
They want.
Yep. What it would be interesting to see, like, okay, so say if you burn a Quran, all right, to see the backlash you'd get from that, and then what if you burned a Torah? And to see the backlash you got from that. And then if you burned a Bible. I bet if you burned a Bible, like, no one would absolutely care at all. You might have a couple people who'd care, but for the most part, no one really gives a shit.
I think it depends on where you do it. If you did, okay, if it was like a social experiment in front of a crowd that had, however many equal percentage of Muslims, Jews, and Christians. Well, first of all, they'd fucking kill each other first. But then they'd beat you. I wonder if it was Westboro Baptist people, what they would do. It depends on the denomination, Michael. It really does, I think. And the region that you're in. I think it depends. Yeah. I think that you were just performing collectivism just then, Michael. You're a collectivist.
Maybe. Well, no. I was saying it would be interesting to see the reactions from those individual groups.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, so by the way, just quick mention real quick. Most of the liberals that I've talked to, they're really upset about Donald Trump's tweet. And they're they're an equal level of pissed off about it. And I am too. It should not be illegal, right? But I just wanted to mention this just real quick. Hillary did sponsor an anti-flag burning bill in 2005 or 06, I think. It carried a 1-year jail term and $100,000 fine. So this is just this is pretty par for the course for the statists out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't really matter what party you're in. It's this is par for the course. So
it just only further proves how much Hillary and Trump are actually the same person.
Yeah, they're best friends.
So, yep.
She's probably like gonna be on his cabinet. That'd be so funny. That'd be such a slap in the face. I would laugh so hard. He made her Secretary of State again.
Oh my God.
The position that she's in trouble for doing shit on. He's like, she's fine. She's fine. She's gonna be Secretary of State. Forget Chris Stevens. I don't give a fuck about that guy. Fuck him. I'm glad he's dead.
Abilities.
I'm confident in her abilities. And I'm here to vouch for her. Oh, Bill Weld. What the hell, Bill? Get out of here. Nobody wants you in here, you piece of shit. Guys, it's the holiday season. And what better place to shop than on Amazon? Because why leave your house? There's no point in leaving your house. Shop on Amazon and do it through our link. You can find it at the bottom of every page on libertylampoon.com. That's right. Go to libertylampoon.com and it's at the bottom. Just go down there. You'll see the Amazon link. Click it. Just click the picture and you got it. Get the stuff that you need and help out the show at the same time. Hey, do you love someone? Buy them something on Amazon. Hey, and if you want to start your own podcast, guess what? We have our equipment posted at libertylampoon.com/shop. Go to libertylampoon.com/shop, and you will see. the things that we use, our mic stand, and our headphones. That's right. Go do it now if you want to. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and we get a little bit of a cut. Do it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you might remember Steve from episode 12, Electocalypse. Well, now here he is. He came in here because he wants to talk about the flag and why it should be illegal to do anything to it. But first, I think that there's some questions that we have for him. Like, Steve, how are you liking the Trump presidency? How are you dealing with that? I just want to say, I heard that old boy Sessions last week. Oh, my God, Michael. Great interview, man. I got to say, it was a great interview.
Thank you, Steve. It's good to have you back on Liberty Lampoon with us.
I also want to say, I, too, enjoy pina coladas. However, today I will be enjoying a tall, lukewarm Pabst Blue Ribbon. I'm dipping Red Seal long cut, and I am about 95% constitutionally boned up, if you know what I mean. I like I have a full-on raging pants viper over making America great again, Michael.
And have you had
it's coming out of my jeans, as you can see, Michael. And I see you looking here, Michael.
Yeah.
You queer boy?
No.
Don't be looking at my hog now, Michael. Don't be looking at my hog.
That's good, Pecker. What do you got there? Anyways,
Steve, you seem Steve. I just wanted to interject this. Sorry, Michael. I'm sorry I cut you off there.
No, you're good. You're good.
So you seem like I've noticed this kind of thing with you and Jeff Sessions, where you guys are good old boys, kind of like rednecks, and you guys do this thing where you seem a little homosexual. Could you? Or are you guys just kind of cool with joking around about that, or what? Yeah. So here's the deal about that, Aaron. Every now and then, grown men need to joke around about that stuff because it breaks the ice. You know what I mean, Michael? You know what I mean, right?
I can't say that I do, Steve.
You kind of gotta break the ice a little bit, because sometimes you get these feelings deep within your prostate where you feel like you're gonna need to kind of get inside one of your friends. You know what I mean? And it's just a way for me to we joke around about it. That way, if it ever happens, it's not that awkward. You know what I mean? Because we've been joking around about it this whole time, and then that way it makes it feel okay when it actually happens, when we defile the holy book. You know what I mean? No, I don't know what you mean, Steve.
I can't say that I do, Steve.
I have never done that once. Yeah. That is horrific. Well, it's just part of the way. It's a Southern thing. I think it's a Southern thing. Michael, you got questions? Come on, I'm starting to feel a little awkward.
I do, Steve. Well, like you said, when you got back in contact with us, you wanted to come on and talk about this whole flag burning thing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Just real quick. Tell us what you're thinking, big picture about this whole flag burning, anti-flag burning thing going on right now.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Look, here's the thing, Michael. Men have died for their flag. All I'm saying is these flag burners should die for it too. You know what I mean? Line them up in the streets. Have them bend over, facing away from you, and then just violate them any way that you possibly can. I think this comes back around to that whole joking thing. You know what I mean, Michael? We're not actually gay.
Steve,
it's just a punishment.
Are you or were you a fan of Fidel Castro?
No, Michael. That sounds like the most horrific thing I ever heard. I would never support that brown bastard.
Well,
but that's right, Michael.
Know, man.
We need to string these flag burners up in the street. You know what I mean? Or throw them out. If you don't like my flag, I say get the fuck out of here. It's been done before, Michael.
By Fidel Castro, Steve. I don't know if you're aware of that. He, it's.
I don't understand what you're saying here, Michael.
People
Steve, it's true. North Korea. China, you name it. These are nationalist countries, dictators ruling, and they punish people for, not standing for the flag like you would like to as well. It's not the same thing, though. We're a good country. You know what I mean, Michael? You know what I mean. You were a veteran. Surely you know that this is a good country. This is the good guys, right? It's always us good. Good, always. We're like Simba on The Lion King. Would you agree with that, Michael?
Steve, I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree with that.
Okay, God damn it, Michael. That flag stands for freedom. And freedom, as you know, means 5% lower taxes, sweeping conscription laws, and government-mandated retirement plans that won't work. And, of course, undying fealty to the garments and symbology of this great country. I want to see men, women, and children on their knees before them colors every day while Leonard Skinner's Freebird is blaring over loudspeakers in every community. Once the wailing solo finishes, Aretha Franklin starts singing the national anthem, followed by God Bless the USA, as every man, woman, and child stands in solidarity for the American values of just following orders. And red-blooded patriotic Americans will all simultaneously cream in their denim blue Levi's whilst Elton John is strangled by John Cena live on government television. I know what I'm talking about. I got this all planned out.
Steve, we didn't want you to come on here just to spout the Republican platform.
It's the Republican platform, Steve. This is ridiculous. Why don't you just go give, freaking Reince Priebus a blowjob, for God's sakes?
Yeah, or John McCain. He might be more up your alley. I don't
look. I know, Michael, that I joke about literally shoving nuclear warheads up Al-Qaeda's recently violated by goats assholes and then making them suicide themselves up in their communities and whatnot. And I really feel for the children all caught up in this. But maybe they should get better dads, The flag wants what the flag wants, Michael. If the flag wants Donald Trump to grab women in their nether regions, uninvited and non-consensual, he's got to do it. If the flag wants Jeff, totally meant everything he's ever said about black people, Sessions, to lock Mohammedans up for looking funny, he's got to do it. Hell, if the flag wants me to give up my guns, come take them. I don't need them. Molan Labe means something new if the flag wants something else. Trump's king now, Michael. I'd suck him if I had to. Hell, I want to. Whip it out, Donald. I'm a big boy. I can take it.
So let me ask you this, Steve. If burning the flag is such a just a violation of everything America stands for to you, what if these ISIS bastards in Iraq and Syria right now that we're not actually fighting them but we're bombing them? What if they all wrap themselves in American flags? Should we continue to bomb them?
I'm going to try to answer this in a roundabout way, Michael. So just let me get to it, okay? You know that's how I answer questions, right?
Oh, this is going to be bad. All right, keep going.
Steve, I would really like it if you just got to the point. No, look, I gotta do this the way I gotta do it. You ever had sushi, Michael? Aaron, you ever had sushi? Yeah, I've had sushi.
Yes, I've had sushi, yes.
That's what happened the last time we let foreigners in here. They tricked us into actually eating fish shit. All you commie bastards keep moving into my communities and putting shit in my coffee and calling fish jizz food. That ain't the flag's will, Michael. And the flag's will ain't for Mohammedans to be dressing up in flags. It's not going to happen. Get with reality. We must stand for the will of my Lord and Savior, the flag. It is the only reason that men died. Men died for that flag, not your silly opinions. So get down on your knees and respect my flag, Michael. It's that simple.
Steve, what's stopping these guys in ISIS from just ordering a bunch of American flags from Amazon and having them delivered, and then they just wrap them around them and wear them like capes?
I guess we couldn't shoot them. I mean, I guess. If I say if you see one shred of brown inside that flag, you pull that goddamn trigger, soldier. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
I mean,
but
technically,
then-
that's defiling the flag. I mean, if there's brown on it, it's defiled at that point. So you gotta burn that flag. You know what I mean? We burn the flag when it's broken.
So
It can't think
Steve,
straight.
Steve, you heard when we had Senator Sessions on, right? You heard the whole
Yeah, I heard
episode?
that. It was
Yeah,
a
okay, all right.
fantastic
So-
interview.
So when Senator Sessions was like, if they're brown, they're down.
Oh yeah,
you
I agree with
that.
I 100% agree with that, Michael. Why do you think that every county in Oklahoma went for Donald Trump? It's because if they're not brown, they're down. He wants to shove nuclear weapons into orifices of the brown ones. You know what I mean, Michael? I think you know.
Steve, I don't want to be a prick here or anything like that, but you really haven't answered my question about if ISIS wraps themselves in the American flag, do we continue to bomb them?
I did answer the question.
Or do we not bomb
We
them?
continue to bomb any area that we see brown in. It doesn't matter if the American flag is covering it.
We're going to burn all these flags, and you're okay with the government burning the American flag?
Jeff Sessions was right. This is the fake news right here. You guys are left-wing media. That's what y'all are. I take back all those jokey little fun gay things I was saying. Look, sometimes you joke around about things with people that you think might agree with you on certain issues. You know what I mean? And then you realize what kind of commie pieces of shit that they are, and you gotta recant those jokes and realize that there is no way that you could ever be balls deep in your friend because he is a communist, and they have STDs, Michael. It's a known fact that all communists have STDs. I am 100% certain that you carry them in your bunghole.
So let me get this straight, Steve. You
Steve,
are
can we
okay with
avoid
burning the
words?
flag. You are okay with burning the flag then?
That's a good question, Steve. Can you answer that? I am okay with blowing up brown people regardless of the clothes that they have on. Does that make sense?
So they're genuine
So you don't care-
U.S. made American flags that they're wearing as capes. You're okay with burning those flags because of who they're wrapped around.
Well, Michael, you may not know this, but the U.S. flag is actually mythical. Only people who are U.S. citizens can burn flags, right? And even if let's say a brown person is holding onto the flag, wearing the flag, trying not to get burnt because they're scared that American missiles are going to drop freedom on their dickholes, they're not worried because they're worried, but they shouldn't be worried because they're going to get blown to hell anyways. And I'm not worried about any of them, the American flags getting burnt because they are mythical.
So then
they're all blessed by elves. And
what about these radicalized Americans that go and join
they're-
ISIS or that have joined Al Qaeda? If they have an American flag, can they burn their flag?
They can
Because they
burn
are
their
American
flag,
citizens?
but whenever a U.S. bomb is dropped onto them when they're in a foreign country, the bomb will only blow up the person and not the flag. And you can't tell me that you have proof. You have no proof. So don't even pretend like you do. It is science, Michael, much like the science of Jeff Sessions learning how to smell your taint from a distance.
Jeff, I don't think you understand how physics works, man.
You just called me Jeff. Why'd you call me Jeff?
I meant Steve. Sorry, I get my racist fucks confused sometimes.
Yeah, they are. You're racist, Steve. You are a racist pile of nothing.
So
I don't even think that that's accurate. I am not racist. I am just biased. That's it. I'm just biased a little bit.
But you're okay. But you do understand that you are agreeing that burning the flag is okay while simultaneously saying
Michael,
that it's
it
not
is so
okay.
crazy to me that you're trying to push a character into a corner such as myself, somebody who is not actually real, instead of pushing the narrative into a more funny direction. Your decision has been to question me in a circular motion, trying to get me to answer a question I don't actually believe in.
I just want you to see the flaws in your logic, Steve. we're just going in a big circle here. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, Michael. There may be some comedy behind that. I understand there may be some sort of comedy behind that, but I think the average person wants to hear more about me. Being willing to do Jeff Sessions tactics like shoving dull pencils into narrow urethras. You could have gone in directions like that, but you chose to get tied up in this semantics. That's all this is. It's just semantics. You realize that?
It might be, but hey, this is Liberty Lampoon. It's fake news.
Yeah. Well, Steve, I think that this is all we have time for. Apparently, Michael is just such a great interviewer that he really trapped you with this one. So, any closing thoughts before you have to go, Steve?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I was thinking maybe I could do a going away prayer. No, Steve, we do not let conservatives say prayers anymore on this podcast. The last one did not go very well. I have never heard a prayer in which somebody uses the term dickhole.
Or Ticonderoga pencils.
Yeah. Or in insertion. So, okay, then. Well, thank you guys so much for having me on here. Just remember, you burn the flag, I'll stomp your ass. That's all there is to it. So if I see you guys burning the flag, I will stomp your ass. And Aaron, I just had one more thing to say. Could you please give me the mic back, please? No, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, this is over. You cannot speak anymore. Well, I feel like I have just one more thing to say, and I feel like you're stomping on my freedoms. And I get that this is your private podcast, but I am the red-blooded American here. Can I please have the microphone back?
Yeah, all right, Aaron. Just
should I give it back to him?
Yeah, just let him speak his piece. And
are you sure you want me to give it to him? Because I see a look in his eyes like he's going to say something that we don't want him to say.
I mean, worst case scenario, we can have Greg turn it off.
Greg, can you beep this out if you have to? I have just got a real bad feeling about it.
I got my head on the button.
I promise it's not going to be that big of a deal. Just give me the microphone real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Here you go, Steve.
Yeah, Greg says he's ready.
All right. So one more thing before I go. I just want to say and also them brown people can on my
and
cock.
Flag burners.
And flag burners. Well, I am so glad that we gave Greg the beep button, because that was literally the most horrific thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, Steve. I don't think we can have you back on the show after that, bro.
That is okay. Thank you, guys. I will be taking leave of you now.
All right, Steve.
All right, so that was Greg, Steve, guys.
Greg,
that is
thanks,
your
bro.
typical. That is your typical conservative. We know a few. We know a few of those.
So, oh no,
that is your typical conservative. They are all exactly the same. They're all exactly like that. Every single last one.
They want 5% lower taxes.
There is no. Oh wait, am I a collectivist? Did I just become a collectivist? 5% lower taxes doesn't work, you freaking idiots.
What have we become? What have we become?
As a nation, I know. As a nation, I know.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
This plays on the radio. Oh, thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you so much.
And we'll definitely see you next week. But until then, do some of the things that we told you to do to help out the show, or just go find us at facebook.com/Liberty Lampoon and like us, like our page. Follow us on Twitter at Liberty Lampoon.
Give us a like, give us a share, or just, you can find all of our socials at libertylampoon.com. And you can hit us up there.
Mail.
Yep. It doesn't have to be hate mail. It could really be anything. Tell us what you like, what you don't like.
We prefer hate mail.
Some topics, some questions. We'll take it on. Anyways, until next time, thank you again for listening to Liberty Lampoon, coming to you from the great state of Oklahoma. This is Michael.
And this is Aaron.
And remember to be free and go vote.
Don't vote.